Right guys, so welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk about the new assassin rules. Wow, the assassins got good with access to a whole host of new stratagems and rules, and I think it's going to change a lot of people's lists. There's already filth talk about taking Cypher as your warlord in a Chaos army to run assassins, which is just ridiculous. let's face it. But the good thing is, I know before previously you could take 3 assassins in a Vanguard without a HQ. You wouldn't lose a CP, but you wouldn't gain one either. Now, what you can do, as per the Execution Force new special rule, you can include this unit in your army as part of a Vanguard detachment, even if that detachment contains no HQs. However, if you do so, that detachment's command benefits are changed to none. Okay? Unless the detachment contains exactly 1 Vindicare, 1 Calidus, 1 Eversaw, and 1 Calexis. So basically, you change it to none unless you have 1 of each assassin, which means you get a command point for taking all 4, which is really, really cool. They've all still got independent operative, which is basically they can never take a warlord trait, and during deployment you can set them up as concealed and bring them on from turn 2. So if your army is Battleforged and includes any Imperium detachments, and everyone in that detachment has Imperium keyword, you can gain access to the stratagems down below, which means legally you can run Cypher and Fallen as a detachment and then take these and a Chaos detachment and still be Battleforged, which is just stupid. But yeah, they've all got Lightning Reflexes, which is a 4+ in Vulnerable as well. And of course, independent operative, like I said, you can just set them up more than 9 inches away. Point values, they are all 85 points apiece. Pretty decent, so you're looking at 340 points for all 4. Are they worth the weight in gold? Well, I think they're not bad at all. So let's start by having a look at the rules for each one as opposed to the stratagems, and then we'll have a look at the stratagems. So let's have a look at the Vindicare first. None of his stats really changed. Weapon and ballistic skill 2, strength and toughness 4, 5 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 9, 6 up save, 4 invulnerable because of lightning reflexes. He's got the Exorcist pistol and the Exorcist rifle still. Pistol is strength 4, pistol 1, and Exorcist rifle heavy 1, strength 5. Both -3, both D3 damage. And if you target an infantry model, you wound on a 2+. He's also got the blind grenade. Basically, you subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by that unit until the end of their turn. D6 shots at range 12. It's alright. However, the rules are where he gets good. So, dead shot, you can target a character. Each time an unmodified wound roll of a 6 is made for an attack with a ranged weapon by this model, the damage for the attack is D6 instead of D3. You've also got faultless aim. If this model remains stationary when in its previous move phase, it always hits on a 2+ when firing a ranged weapon, regardless of modifiers. There you go. But 6s are still required for Overwatch. Oh no! Oh, so you're at -3 to hit. Oh no! Bye bye. Which is really good for sniping Eldar stuff in particular. We've got a lot of minus to hits. We've got headshot. After this model has made an attack with a ranged weapon, roll 1d6 if the model suffered any damage from an attack but has not been slain. And on a 3+, the model suffers a mortal wound. If the model is not slain, you can roll another dice, and on a 4+, he takes another mortal wound. And then on a 5+ and a 6+, until the model is either slain or the roll is failed. So very, very good. Spy mask enemies do not gain cover saves when using ranged weapons, and subtract 1 from hit rolls with ranged weapons that target the Vindicare, or subtract 2 if he is in cover. So I think he's pretty good. You probably want, 2 to reliably take out a character, but 1 is still pretty good, especially when you factor in the new stratagems, which we'll get to shortly. You've then got the Artisans Assassin, exactly the same stat lines, apart from she's got the new rule Shredder. Roll 3d6 each time this weapon scores a hit. If the roll is equal to or greater than the target unit's highest leadership, it suffers d3 mortal wounds. It's alright. It's range 9 though, so obviously if you do deploy 9 inches away, you can't use it, but we'll get to that. Phase Sword, invulnerable saves cannot be taken against attacks made by this weapon. And of course it's -3 anyway, so the chances of taking any armor saves are minimal as well. And it's 2 damage. You've then got the Poison Blaze. Each time the bearer fights, make 1 additional attack with this weapon. The weapon wounds on a 3+, unless it's a vehicle, in which case it's a 6+. So it's alright, it's an additional attack. You've then of course got the same special rules. You've got Polymorphine. During deployment you can set up this model in disguise instead of setting up on the battlefield. At the end of your movement phase you can basically set it up d6 plus 3 inches away. So you could get 9. Oh, is that right? Yeah, d6 plus 3, so you actually want to roll as low as possible. So the closest you can get is a 4. So you still be 4 inches away. Pretty good though. She has got hit and run. She can fall back and still charge, which is very good considering she's a close combat monster. And she's got Reign of Confusion as well. If you want to have any models with this ability in your army, then during the first battle round, roll a d6 each time your opponent spends command points to use a stratagem. And on a 4+, they must spend 1 extra command point, or else it has no effect. The CPs are lost if you don't choose to use the additional 1. This ability cannot affect stratagems used before the game, so that's changed. I think she used to have to be on the board. Now it's just if she's in your army. The Eversaw Assassin is next, and by God, he got brutal. Very, very brutal. So, same stat lines again, apart from he's got 6 wounds and 6 attacks. He's got an Executioner Pistol, which is Pistol 4, range 12, strength 4, -1 damage, but you can re-roll wound rolls for attacks made with this weapon that target infantry. You've got the Neuro Gauntlet in combat. You can re-roll wound rolls for attacks made with this weapon, and it's strength 5, -1. You've then got the Power Sword, and you've got a Melter Bomb as well, range 4, and it's basically strength 8, -4, d6 damage, and re-roll wounds against vehicles. However, when the Eversaw Assassin dies, roll a d6 for each enemy unit that is within 6 inches, and on a 4+, they suffer d3 mortal wounds. Cool. Each time an enemy unit falls back whilst within an inch of this model can immediately make a shooting attack against the enemy unit as if it was the shooting phase. It's got Segarak's, not Segarak's Revenge. There's a Harlequin stratagem that lets you do that, which is very cool. Granted, he's only got 4 pistol shots, but you know, you kill 2 or 3 infantry. You've then got Frenzen. When making a charge roll for this model, roll 3d6 rather than 2d6. In addition, add 2 to this model's attack characteristics if he charged in the preceding charge phase. Yes, you can charge 3d6. You cannot declare a charge unless you are within 12. So even if you roll 14, 15, 16, you can't charge that far. Killing Rampage. Each time an enemy model is slain as a result of an attack made by a melee weapon with this model, the model can immediately make 1 additional attack against the same unit. These additional attacks cannot themselves generate further attacks. In addition, you can consolidate up to 6 inches instead of 3. So that's 8 attacks, and if you chop up 8 orcs or guardsmen or Tau Fire Warriors, chopping up another 8, which is pretty brutal. I like him a lot, and I think you're going to see a lot of Eversaws. And then we've got the Anti-Psyker, we've got the Artisans Assassin. So, same stat lines again. So, Animus Speculum is Assault D3, Strength 5, -4, 1 damage. Unless you target a Psyker, whilst there's an enemy Psyker within 18, you get D6 shots. And then you've got the Psych Out Grenade as well, which has the opportunity to do mortal wounds if it targets a Psyker or Demon, which is pretty cool. Special rules for him, you've got the Abomination. This model can never be targeted or affected by psychic powers in any way. Psychics that are within 18 must subtract 2 from the psychic tests and deny the witch tests. Saving throws cannot be made for attacks made with melee weapons unless they are invulnerable saves. So basically, if there's something with a 2-up armor with no invulnerable, this guy's probably the one that you want to go with. Because you just can't take armor saves, which is great. You've got Ethereum. Attacks that target this model are resolved as if the attacking model has a weapon skill and ballistic skill of 6+. That still does not counteract Dark Reapers. Dark Reapers would still hit them on a 3. And Psychic Assassin. Attacks made by this model can target a character that is a Psyker, even if it is not the closest enemy unit. In addition, this model can make an attack with Psych Out grenades in the same phase that it uses the Animus Speculum. So he can lob a grenade whilst shooting as well. So all 4 assassins are pretty good, but there's a whole host of things now that make them a million times better. So there's, I think, 8 stratagems here. The first one, Operative Requisition Sanctioned. This stratagem costs 1 CP if you're playing a match play, or 3 CP otherwise. You can only use this stratagem if your Warlord has the Imperium keyword. Use the stratagem during deployment. Add 1 Officio Assassinorum unit of your choice to your army. Remember, it's a match play game and you must play reinforcement points. And it can only be used once per battle. So, oh look, free assassin, bang. There you go. I don't know why you would use that though, because then it's just a case of you would have just paid the 85 points and lost a command point at the beginning anyway. I don't get that one actually. Next one though, Priority Threat Neutralized. Use this stratagem after an enemy character model is slain by an assassin from your army. You gain 2 command points, or 3 if it was your opponent's Warlord. And you can only use this stratagem once for each character model slain. So basically you get a free CP if an assassin kills a character. If you've got a CP to spend, you basically get an extra 1 back, which is pretty good. Of course you could use that in the shooting phase with the Calexis and Vindicator combined could probably take someone out, and then the Eversaw and Calidus combined can probably take someone else out. So that would be, but you can only, oh, you're not technically regaining. I don't know whether that's going to be affected by the farm and command points rule. That's an interesting one. Next, we've got 2 stratagems for the Vindicator. You've got double kill. Use this stratagem in your shooting phase. After a Vindicator assassin from your army shoots, that model can shoot 1 additional time this phase, but must be at a different target. 1 CP to have him shoot again. It's okay. If you've got multiple Vindicators, you don't need it. But, you know, it's not bad if you're out of luck, you've got, some cards where you need to kill a character. A CP to shoot again and score victory points, not bad. Next up though, you've got Turbo Penetrator round. Use this stratagem in your shooting phase. After an attack with an Nexus pistol or rifle where the Vindicator scores a hit. So you only have to hit. Then you use the stratagem. Do not make a wound roll for that attack if the hit is against a vehicle or monster. Instead, the hit inflicts D3 mortal wounds on the target. If this stratagem is used, then you cannot apply the headshot ability to that. So it's not bad. Very, very handy for plinking mortal wounds off demon princes. We've actually got 2 more. No, we haven't. I've just looked at them twice. The Calidus, we've got Acrobatic. Use this stratagem. Oh, both of them are 1 CP, by the way. Use this stratagem in your moving phase. Choose a Calidus assassin in your army. That model can advance and charge. In addition, until the start of the next battle round, subtract 1 from hit rolls that target her. Very, very good for 1 CP. 2 CP, we've got Supreme Deception. Use this stratagem at the start of any battle round. After the first, choose 1 Calidus assassin from your army, and that model's Reign of Confusion ability is considered to be in effect until the end of that battle round. You can only use this stratagem once per battle. So very handy for turn 2 or 3 when your opponents are going to be moving in for the kill and be using all them stratagems. We've got Paria's Gaze for the Colexus Assassin now. Use the stratagem in your shooting phase before choosing a Colexus Assassin to shoot with. Until the end of the phase, the damage characteristic of that model's ranged weapons is increased to D3. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. We've got the Eversaw next. We've got 2 CP Stim Overload. Use this stratagem at the end of your fight phase. Choose one Eversaw Assassin in your army to fight with, even if the model has already fought. After that model has fought, roll 1d6, and on a 1, 2, or 3, it suffers a mortal wound. 2 CP to have that guy fighting again. He's already got 8 attacks for charging. Probably gained more for killing stuff. And then he gets to fight again, which is brutal. Absolutely brutal. So we've still got another Eversaw 1. We've got Hypermetabolism. 1 CP. Use this stratagem at the start of any phase. Choose one Eversaw Assassin from your army. Until the end of the phase, roll a d6 each time that model loses a wound. And on a 4+, he does not. What? So use that in conjunction with that at the beginning when you charge. You've got 8 attacks. I doubt you'd survive orcs, but if you charge a horde of 30 orcs, you've got 8 attacks. Every one you kill, you get another attack. There's potentially 16 chopped up. You've used this to get the 4+ ignored damage. So you've got your 4 in run, 4 ignored damage. Oh, look, I've only got a couple of wounds left. I'm going to fight again. And I've got 8 attacks because I've charged. And then every time I kill somebody, I get to chew through you again. He could wipe out a unit of 30 boys. He could. Which is horrendously good. And the last CP, 2 CP for Soul Horror. Use this stratagem at the start of your fight phase. Choose one Colexus Assassin from your army. Enemy units within 3 of the model cannot be chosen to fight this phase until after all other units have done so, even if they are charged. Even if they're charged. If one of those units has an ability that allows them to fight first this phase, they instead fight in this phase as if they do not have that ability. That is game changing. Absolutely game changing. You know, if you charge in to wipe something out, stick him next to something critical, have him pile in, heroic intervention, and then just bang, 2 CP. You're not fighting. Suddenly you've got whatever he's charged with and your assassin to fight against him. And of course the Colexus, you're not taking in runs or armor saves with him. That's good. That's very, very good. I like these a lot, and I think you're definitely going to see a lot more assassins on the table. If you like these rules, we did manage to get a few of them in the battle report, which will be out later this week. So go and check that out when it comes out. But in the meantime, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please check out the rest of the channel. Give us a subscribe, and we'll see you again very soon.